The following program is brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.
This is the Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Deno. Welcome to the Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals, such as gold, silver, and platinum, to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group, and his peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, welcome to the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Dave. So happy to be with you again.
Our topic is fiat currency fraud, and we're not talking about a car. Let's look at the events that shaped our nation and our personal finances. First of all, the national debt. It grew exponentially huge during the last year.
Yeah, and what they tell us is 29 trillion or so, but we all know that it's a lot more than that. Debt of the world is over 300 trillion, and debt is spiraling out of control.
And inflation is higher than it has been for 30 years since the Jimmy Carter days.
Yeah, and it may flatten out for a while because we will do year-over-year comparisons, but prices aren't going back down anytime soon, and inflation could go hyper over the next few years. So inflation is a problem.
Now, the new administration is having difficulty still in coping with the COVID pandemic as well, right?
Yeah, and who knows? It feels like suppression, control, plan, whatever it is. I don't know, but whatever it is not under control. And I read an article this morning. They found the new variant in France potentially with 46 mutations.
Ooh.
So is the end of this coming? I don't think so.
And then we still have supply chain problems.
Yeah, and that was at the beginning, but now there's staffing problems, vaccine mandate problems, people quitting. We actually were trying to find a bank yesterday to make a deposit, and every single bank in the town, I'm not going to mention the name of the bank, was closed because they didn't have enough people to work there. So this is a serious issue. That's a problem.
The one thing that's been nagging at me, and this is one I've been waiting to ask you, as we look at the financial situation in our country and in the world, and we're going to touch more on this with the talk about fiat currency, but as we look at that, why is it that things like stocks, Wall Street, why is it that reacts so quickly and so violently to events in the world, whereas gold just kind of holds a steady course through all of this? How can that be?
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of leverage in the equity markets and in the stock markets. There's big institutions and day traders, people at home on apps that are trading stocks. So there's a lot of people out there that have a vested interest to be very emotional. And volatility is emotion. So when you see stocks go up and down, it's people that have a change of heart, day by day, week by week. Traders, speculators, people who own gold want wealth preservation. They want to protect their buying power. So I would say the people who buy gold are strong hands, and they don't have any intention of selling it. They just want to hold on to it, keep it for themselves and their kids and their nest egg.
You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is fiat currency fraud. And Ken, we've talked about fiat currency before, kind of here and there along the way, but today let's expand our understanding. Let's get a real clear grasp of what fiat currency is. What is it, and why do you call it a fraud?
Well, fiat currency is the currency that we've had since 1971, paper currency. All the currencies of the world right now are fiat, meaning that they're not backed by anything, Dave. Gold used to back the dollar. They don't even call it the dollar anymore. If everybody took their dollar bill out of their pocket, it's called the Federal Reserve note. So it's a fraud because they can print as much of it as they want. Monetary system is controlled by central bankers and politicians. And in my opinion, that is a bad situation for a currency that's supposed to be strong, but in essence backed by nothing except debt. Debt that is enormous.
President Nixon temporarily, so-called, took us off the gold standard to a paper money economy, and this year we are noting, and I didn't use the word here, celebrating, its 50th anniversary. Why are we still on this so-called temporary standard?
Well, we're kind of in a dilemma. The markets will crash if they don't provide stimulus and provide money printing capabilities. So that's the kind of corner that we've backed ourselves into, where we're so reliant on printing money and enormous debt. We've made the case, Dave, that over the last 20 or 30 years, we've seen significant movement in stocks and in real estate. But what's it due to? It's mostly due to debt, and the creation of money out of thin air. So the fiat currency fraud is the ability to create money, monopoly money, out of thin air. And when everybody has the majority of their savings reliant on that paper fiat currency backed by nothing, that's a very, very scary situation. And that's why we're talking about it today.
Let's see what this has meant to the value of our dollar. Maybe you can give me a couple of examples of the dollar's decline in value, maybe since 1900 and then since 1960, let's say.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are listening and that were around that time. Let's just call it the falling dollar. The falling dollar, the falling dollar. 1913, a dollar bought you 30 big Hershey chocolate bars. $1. 1964, $1 brought you a drive-in movie ticket. $1. $1 today buys you, if you're lucky, a very small McDonald's coffee, and that drive-in movie ticket probably is close to $20.
Wow.
And to summarize it, whatever a dollar bought in 1955, today it costs $14 or $15. So as you can see, when you wrap up your savings in all paper dollars, paper fiat federal notes, it's a losing proposition.
I think perhaps one of the easiest to understand examples of how much inflation has eaten away at the value of the dollar is that you and I can both remember buying gas for our cars at 25 cents a gallon. And now, if you live in any of a number of states, you're closing in on $5 a gallon. That is how much the dollar has declined in its buying power.
Yeah, and that's only one aspect of the, society. I mean, what about food, good food? What about electricity and utilities? And my HMO costs went up 25% over last year.
Wow.
Just to make that monthly payment. So it's across the board. There's many things right now that are attributing to it. And the fiat money system that we have is not going to help us out in the long run, holding our buying power. So what could, and I'll kind of lead us into this, what could we possibly diversify into, Dave, that will hold our buying power, give us diversification, and help us escape the potential fall and crash of the U.S. dollar?
When I go through the introduction of the program, Ken, oftentimes I will say that you can use precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth. How do we safeguard our wealth with gold, silver, and platinum?
That's a perfect, intro to what people should be thinking about. How could they protect themselves from keeping all of their wealth in paper? And one of the easiest ways to do that is you take a portion of it and you move it sideways, whether it be liquid money or IRA money or retirement money, and you move it into gold coins, gold bars, silver, platinum coins, platinum bars, silver coins. We expect them, as usual, to continue to be looked at as money, all of the aspects of good, strong money. And we actually expect, because of the falling dollar, because of the weak fiat currency system, the fiat currency fraud, that central bankers are allowed to print into oblivion, we expect precious metals to increase dramatically in value over the next 5 or 10 years to make up for some of that paper asset loss that most Americans are facing.
A reminder here that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is fiat currency fraud, and we're going to talk more about that later in our time together today. Actually, we're going to take a look at what some prominent Wall Street analysts are now saying about the financial outlook for 2022, and in a few moments, we're going to look at a specific gold product that can add to your secure wealth, and we'll do that right after this.
I'm here with Midas Gold Group senior trader and Marine Corps veteran, James Clark. James, why are people investing in gold and silver?
Well, Dr. Gorka, the Federal Reserve supplies money to pay for congressional spending. As Congress expands spending, the Fed has no choice but to keep printing money at an accelerated rate. This causes the dollar to fall and gold to increase.
So as the Fed and Congress devalue the dollar, what can people do?
As the nation's #1 veteran-owned precious metals dealer, we offer diversification strategies in the form of precious metals. As Congress looks to the Fed for more money, investors look to gold and silver to protect their nest egg.
And I recommend that you look to Midas Gold Group for all your precious metal needs. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Deno. Our topic is fiat currency fraud. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to come on by and visit us at our local office to meet with us in person. We would love that. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS. That's MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers, that's 855-322-4653. Now, as I always say, let's treat ourselves by looking at a specific gold product, and I love doing this. Today, this one really intrigues me, Ken. The Gold American Buffalo, and you have the advantage of holding one right now. Why is this such a valued gold coin?
Well, it's quality, Dave. You know, it's the only 24 karat gold coin produced by the U.S. Mint. So it's a standard. They don't make that many of them. And when we talk about protecting our purchasing power and our buying power, we're trying to protect what the dollar is going to lose, the falling dollar. And as people know, one of the easiest ways to look at it, the dollar probably bought half of what it could buy, 30, 40 years ago than what it can buy today. So that's all people need to know. And what could they own that's liquid, that has a unique value to it? It has buyers and sellers every day, and it's a high quality product that has always kept its value, and that would be the Gold American Buffalo. It was first introduced in 2006, Dave. It's a 99.99 pure gold coin produced by the U.S. Mint. And like I said, it's the only 24 karat gold coin produced by the U.S. Mint, which actually is a very highly regarded entity. The U.S. Mint, between the Gold American Eagle and the Silver Eagle and the Gold Buffalo, they really are top-notch, high-level coins. It's a very elegant coin, to say the least. It's a classic design. And because it's made by the U.S. Mint, it's backed by the U.S. government, and it's quickly gained a lot of popularity with investors over the last, 15 years or so. It's truly historic. It's a beautiful coin. I had some clients that came in yesterday and put in a big order for a bunch of them. They want to protect a portion of their cash reserves, and the Gold American Buffalo was the way they went. And I would have to agree, they made a terrific choice.
Can you maybe describe it to us as you hold it there?
Yeah, it's a very yellow gold because it's 24 karat gold. So for those out there that have never owned or hold gold, which I would urge you to do, 22 karat gold's a little browner. 24 karat gold is very yellow. The color really pops out at you. The Gold Buffalo carries a $50 face value. It is legal tender, although the worth of the actual coin is based on the weight and based on the price of gold. So it's actually about 20 times that. It comes in a sealed plastic container by the U.S. government. It's brilliant uncirculated condition. The U.S. Mint guarantees the coin's authenticity and purity, although we do test all of our coins before our clients own them. They come in. Some of them even have some gold and silver coins that they can bring in because their previous gold dealer or whatever did not help them test their coins, which is always an added service that we provide. And the obverse of this coin, Dave, are the heads. The face of the coin features a Native American chief. From that time period, it's James Earl Frazier's original iconic design, which was also used on the Indian head nickel. I'm sure you probably remember the design of that.
I do.
Chief, the Native American chieftain at that time. Now, the back of the coin, the reverse side, features a beautiful buffalo. It's the black diamond buffalo, which was an actual bison. It's a well-known inhabitant of the New York's Central Park Zoo, believe it or not. A lot of weird stuff going on in New York these days, but let's not include the black diamond bison of the early 1900s in that. But it's a great coin. It's great for wealth preservation. And remember, how do we protect ourselves and diversify ourselves from this fiat currency fraud? And one of the easiest ways to do that is to take a portion of your wealth, paper wealth, and move it into a great product like the Gold American Buffalo.
You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is fiat currency fraud, which we're going to get back to in just a moment. Ken, is this gold coin IRA eligible?
Yeah, individual retirement account eligible. It can be put inside of a gold IRA. It's a great addition. We believe the gold Buffalo is going to appreciate dramatically over the next 5 or 10 years. It's a favorite within the Midas Gold Group clientele. It's a favorite within the gold investment community out there. It's a great coin, Dave. I mean, really, it's a terrific product. It's rarely is a bullion product this secure, this pristine, and this high quality, but it is, and it is available. It's a reasonable price, and I would urge people today to think about moving some of their assets into it.
I think this is a coin that you have tempted me to add to my collection in my next dealings with you. You can guide me through the process of buying this, right?
Well, that's what we do, Dave. And like I said, we're going to be approaching very tough times, we believe, financially. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on within the banking system, within the government, within society, a lot of crazy stuff. We will see financial chaos in the next few years. Could happen at any time. And we would urge people to give Midas Gold Group a shot, to give them some ideas on how to diversify, protect what they have. It doesn't matter how you got it, as long as it was done legally. Let's protect what you have. Let's diversify. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to take a small portion of your paper assets, whether it be in a regular savings account or whether it be in a retirement account, and let's move some of it into something that has always held its value, physical gold.
Ken, thank you so much. You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is fiat currency fraud, and we're going to continue in just a moment.
Sebastian Gorka here. The Biden-Harris administration is governing through an unprecedented number of executive orders. We have a good idea of what their agenda means for the country and for your finances. More debt, more regulations, slower growth, and higher taxes. There's even talk of a digital wallet currency and a so-called Great Reset. With massive new spending programs, the Fed is printing money even faster than before. This will likely cause the dollar to fall and gold prices to rise. That's why it's never been more important to own physical gold and silver, and the dealer I trust to do business with is veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. The experts at Midas Gold can even help you convert a portion of your IRA into physical gold and silver to stabilize your portfolio against the coming storm. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we continue now with The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Deno. If you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we would love to have you come and visit our local office and meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's spelled M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. And for those of you listening in other cities, you can call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. And by the numbers, toll-free, that's 855-322-4653. We're talking with Ken Russo, Senior Vice President at Midas Gold Group, and on today's program, our topic is fiat currency fraud. So, Ken, 2021 was a rocky year financially for both the country and individual investors. But let's take a look ahead to the new year and getting a good start at protecting our wealth. And I've been monitoring different Wall Street analysts who are normally very bullish in promoting investing in stocks, but some of the top figures are now starting to stress caution and even issuing warnings. One article had the headline of former Goldman banker, Goldman Sachs, is saying that 90% of Americans are completely unprepared for a financial lockdown. Wow.
To have that sort of scare, and we are not even in a financial lockdown or a regular lockdown, right now, that is definitely a possibility. And people have to prepare for that. But this has been happening for a long time, but people are so wrapped up in the moment. And what is the market doing today? Who cares what Tesla stock did yesterday? Well, if you're a Tesla shareholder, terrific, fantastic. I hope you made a lot of money. Protect it, because that's speculation, and speculation could bust you out. It could make you rich, but it could also send you to the poorhouse. So there's room for speculation if you know what you're doing, but we see tough financial times ahead. A former Goldman banker said that 90% of Americans, like you said, are completely unprepared for a financial lockdown. Many Americans, live paycheck to paycheck. That's if they still have a paycheck. With what's going on with the middle class and small business, they can throw trillions and trillions of dollars, more dollars at this system. All it's going to do is weaken it more. It's a facade. It's fake. And if you're fortunate enough to have some wealth, protect it.
Let's close our time out together today by going back to the bottom line of today's subject, fiat currency fraud. Maybe you can give us a final quick word of warning on that?
Yeah, well, they're just going to print more out of thin air, and the central banks are kind of addicted to that right now, and so are governments big time. And they're going to take it's going to take trillions and trillions of dollars more to get a little movement out of the economy, which is already pretty much toast. Commercial real estate is awful. There's a lot of stuff that's just upside down. People are still not paying their rents. This can't continue. It's not going to end well. This fake money will only help us for a little amount of time, and it's up to people out there to take their fiat currency, their fake fiat currency fraud. They're losing dollar, they're losing Federal Reserve note, and while they still can, protect it. You could still move some of those paper assets into gold and into silver and into other different things that you may understand that will preserve wealth. Because remember, Dave, this is about diversification and wealth preservation through the ownership of physical gold and silver. And that's what I would urge people to learn about today.
Yeah, get into precious metals before the value of your dollar, your fiat currency, completely collapses out from under you, and that could happen at any moment. And that's going to bring us to the end of our time together today here on the Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. And a reminder, opinions given here are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers, I'll give it to you again, 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. The Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. Again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group is 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. Ken, Thank you so much for your time again today.
Thanks, Dave. I enjoyed our talk, and we'll talk again soon.
I'm Dave Deno. Come and join us again next week at the same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.